So in Ubuntu server, there are a couple of ways we can manage packages. And we've actually done this quite a bit already. We just haven't really talked about it that much. So there's two different ways that we can, well, a couple of different, but two primary ones that we'll use. One is APT. That's the Debian Package Management System. There are some limitations to it, and so there are some alternatives as well. One of them that we're going to look at is Snap. And that addresses some of the advantages or disadvantages of APT packages. But a lot of what we're going to do with APT anyway, because there's just a whole lot more packages available using APT than Snap. Alright, so things that we need to do. Every so often, so APT works off of a cached list of packages. So we have server repositories where all of our software is stored, and those are maintained normally by, the ones we use most are going to be maintained by Canonical, the company who manages Ubuntu. So they update their repositories, but then we need to update our list of what they have in their repositories if we're going to use it. So to update our apt cache, so the information that we have cached from the repositories, we're going to issue the command apt, let me get to the right screen again, apt update. So that's going to go down and update from all of our repositories. And you can see all of this right here. We're referencing different repositories and looking for updates. And now it's giving me, after reading all of that, it says, hey, I have two packages that can be upgraded. We're going to worry about upgrades a little bit later on. So if I want to look for software in apt, I can use the command apt search. And I can search for a specific package, or I can search for specific types of packages, whatever it is that I want to search for. In this case, let's keep this easy and let's search for Nmap, which is a network mapping tool, if I can type it. So it'll search and it'll look for everything that is related to Nmap. And you're going to see here in green is going to be the name of the package. And one of them we have here is Nmap. That's the one we actually want. And then there's a bunch of stuff, everything else like Python 3, Nmap, Python stuff. All of this is related to Nmap. So I want to install, or I want to find out more about Nmap, because all it tells me here is the network mapper. So let's do apt show Nmap, and this will give me more information about it. So the package name, the version, the priority, down here is the description, and that'll give me a lot more information. One of the other things it does right here is it tells me the installed size, which is cool, and the depends, or this is what Nmap depends on. So when I go to install it, I'm going to do apt install Nmap. It's going to install not only it, so the following additional packages will also be installed. And then here are suggested packages that could be installed. Now, by default, it won't install the suggested packages for us. We can go in and install them if we want. You can also do the apt install, and there's an option you can put on there to install suggested as well. So I want to go ahead and install Nmap, so I'm going to hit yes. And it's getting this from those repositories, and then we're preparing, unpacking, installing, and Nmap is now installed on our system. Okay, if I want to take it off, it's the exact same thing, only backwards. It's apt remove Nmap, and that will uninstall it. This tells us what it'll do. The following packages will be automatically were automatically installed and are no longer required. Now, they're going to stay there. In order to get rid of those packages, so these were dependencies that we installed, we only told it to remove Nmap. Those packages are going to stay there unless we enter the command right here, apt auto remove, to remove them. So I'm going to say, yes, I want to uninstall this, and then I'm going to use the command apt auto remove. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Now there's actually a danger to doing that auto remove, although that gets rid of those dependencies that we're no longer using. There may be a reason that I want to keep those around. I might need it for another package. Now, apt should figure out whether that's actually needed or not and let you know, but I might leave it there because I want to install something a little bit later on that's going to use those. So I don't have to auto remove. But if I do want to keep things clean, that becomes a useful tool. Now, apt should keep you from auto removing something that you actually use, although like all things, sometimes it makes mistakes. Alright, so that's how we do package management with apt, and it's all a command line. So we're searching and we're trying to find what we want and we're installing. No, honestly, a lot of people will do their searching online. You don't always have that available. You might be sitting at a server like this where you need to do it without a GUI. You might not have internet access. But if you do have internet access, that becomes a very useful tool, and then you can go Google whatever package you want, and you find the right thing, and then you come in here and you use apt to update it. Now there are some issues with apt dealing with versioning, and your textbook is going to talk about that a little bit more. And one of the solutions for that is to use a different type of package management other than the default Debian apt package management. And that's something we're going to look at in our next video.